Here we are at the 2023 Dynamic Discs Open here in Emporia, Kansas, a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event. Beautiful weather that we've had out here. A chance of thunderstorms that kind of rolled away on us today. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined here with Nick Hanson.
It's a great day here in Kansas. The winds are going to pick up a little bit on this back nine, but nothing these players can't handle. As we take a look at the results from our front nine, Gannon Buhr, the only one able to go with no bogeys on that front, Nathan.
Yeah, and a couple double bogeys that you see there. So this OB and slight bit of wind coming into play. A little bit of trouble on the putting green. We saw from Ezra, but brings us into hole 10, 585-foot par 4. This is the ideal line right here. I think it's a forehand. If you have it, is going to be the best play to get to that second tree line and past it, where you don't have to worry about that for your second shot. Otherwise, you're going to have a low ceiling approach shot for that uphill second.
Yeah, you want to do whatever you can to get to the bottom of this hill. If that's forehand for you, if it's a backhand turnover, anything that can get you all the way down there. As we see Gannon catching early and barely making it out of the gap.
I'm happy to see a couple players throwing that forehand shot here, because I personally haven't seen anybody throw it on my card, but all of the backhand shots that I've seen kind of skip up left on that hill, and they make that second shot pretty difficult.
What a roll he just got there. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad because of where it landed. He didn't really have a look, I would say, but now he might have something up towards the basket.
Yeah, definitely farther down the hill at least, which you would think would be helpful. Oh yeah, this is going to be...
That is the one.
Oh man. I know we haven't seen this hole as much as hole 9, but that's kind of in that area of, I don't think you're going to see that too often on this one.
Yeah, that's probably top 2% shots on the weekend.
Back-to-back tee shots, incredible forehands for Albert Tamm. Ezra just pushing down that entire fairway and is going to get out the end gap that I'm sure most people have never even looked at. But he's going to be in a great position down there.
And Gannon chopping way over hard. That's going to be a misfire. All right, so it looks like Joel actually kind of rolled into the woods a little. Let's see what he's got out here.
Looks like he does have full body motion. Did have a bit of a low ceiling and long birdie look, but likely par there. Gannon a little bit of trouble here behind this tree. Luckily, he's got some pretty long legs.
Oh, that's so short. Go. Oh, never mind.
And thought it was short, but he's going to be inside the bullseye there. There's that quick play out of Ezra that you'll see, and it's going to be short after having a great tee shot. Still inside the circle, but from where he was probably looking to pin it.
Yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, 6 feet. That's what you're looking for. Albert Tamm has done that. He's inside that 6 foot mark. Nice, easy birdie there.
Go Freeman. Decent bid just outside.
All right. Roller coaster's going back up, I think. I don't know if it's up or down, but
maybe he's on the loop-de-loop.
He's on the good part. He got a birdie. He's back to even, looking to push to under par now.
Best birdies right there. Here we are, hole 11. It's one of the newer holes on the course this year. It's a little bit uphill, 395 feet. OB on the right and left-hand side. Players are throwing a forced flex or maybe a flip-up shot to just stay dead straight and get all the way up in there to get inside the circle.
Yeah, seems to be playing a little bit longer than that 395 just because of the uphill, and you don't have a ton of room to shape it. You see this slow stand-up from Albert, which is a very technical, touchy shot, and he executes it very well. That's about the only line for the righty backhand.
Yeah, I think that is the ideal shot there. The hyzer flip all the way at the basket here that we'll probably see it from Ezra. Yep. Has the chance to fade off like this one's doing, but still going to be inside the circle.
Yeah, that grabbed really nicely. He's going to be just outside the bullseye.
That's one thing that's hard for us here, and it was hard even on the course, is certain spots you're like, oh, it's not going to skip, and then certain spots you don't think it's going to skip, and it does.
Oh, and Gannon kind of gets a little air bounce underneath that one. Could leave him some difficulty. But yeah, you see, even just look at the grass right here. You can see the different pockets, I guess I would say. And right around this tee pad, the little brown areas, that's throughout the entire property. So you can hit that little brown spot and get a huge skip rather than 2 inches to the left where you'll hit it and just die completely.
Exactly, just like Velcro.
Oh, wow. Very close to this OB line over here on the right. There is a little bit of space, though. And a nice approach shot there. He'll be able to grab a tap-in par.
And good putt from Joel there to get his first birdie of the back nine. Joel coming off a win at an A-tier in Colorado last weekend.
All right, we've got Ezra under par. Back-to-back birdies there. Albert Tamm also back-to-back, going to move himself back to 4 under, bouncing back from that double bogey. 24% of the field taking birdies on that one, 71% with the par, so it is kind of playing a bit hard to reach. One that's not as hard to reach, 404 foot, 12th. Slightly downhill. If you've got the forehand, that is the more open line, although it does test the OB on the left side. Right-handed backhand, straight shot, low ceiling. It's going to be another play that kind of keeps you away from the OB. There is some OB on the right if you don't trust this forehand to the left enough. Beautiful.
Great shot by Albert. A lot of these holes we have similar OBs where it's requiring you to throw a straight shot, but you have plenty of space right or left to kind of shape the shot and have it land straight again at the end.
I should check up. Yep.
And again, checking up just short of that OB line. Ezra gonna have himself a birdie look.
Joel ripping this forehand over. It's going to need to move quite a bit.
No way. No way.
Oh, and it just grabs. And on an angle like that, you really can't see how that would grab.
No, that should have moved after it hit the ground at least 20 feet. Right.
Yeah, but he's going to be out pretty early now, as that never did come back in. He's not going to get to move too far off the tee. Here's that low ceiling shot that we saw Ezra take. Gannon just a beeline right at it.
Incredible. Never really left its line once it got going. Just
Yeah.
a nice mid-range, I would say, it looks like from the kid.
Yeah, just a touch of drift off to the right side before it slightly faded at the end. Pretty much finishing on that same line that it left his hand on.
Go.
And looked good out of the hand, but just kind of died. I don't know if there's some wind that couldn't be felt.
Giving it a good bid, but top basket and out.
Yeah, not a hole that you want to take a double on.
And Ezra slowly getting himself to a turkey there. 3 in a row here on this back.
Yeah, gobble gobble. He is now 2 under par. trying to work his way towards a decent round, and that's not something I think we typically see from Albert, and it might have surprised him as well, as he's going to do it again.
Yeah, it seemed like he went right side and then left side. Sometimes when you miss those putts, you tend to overcompensate on the next one, and I think that's might have been what we just saw there. So we have Joel tapping in.
Yeah, tough going for the card on this one.
We're back here at hole 13. The drone is flying the outside left route, which is all inbounds and safe. The players are all going to be throwing over the OB on the right. It says it's 397. It's playing closer to, what would you say, 425, 430?
I think the pin's about 450, probably playing in the 460, 470 range.
And as you see, Ezra putting quite a move on that disc, getting some flip up out of it, and he's still going to be short about circle's edge.
Gannon also getting a nice move on this one, catching some late fade. Going to be in a similar spot, right around the edge of the circle, just outside.
Albert getting a little more height on it, but that's kind of hyzer out on him. Oh, catching that tree and getting actually a roll back to the basket.
Just like he planned it. Gonna be inside circle one.
Lovely. Joel here trying to bounce back. And that looks like it's got a good move on the disc. Getting that drift right. And gonna find himself about 25 feet for birdie.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be just inside of where Albert's at. Closest of the group. Got 4 birdie looks on a hole that averaged 0.1 over par today. And that one just never acted like it had any air underneath it. Dropped right out as soon as it left his hand.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough for me to, you know, say it must be on the course. There's a lot of pars going on here.
Yeah, not my favorite hole. Ezra Robinson, though, 4 birdies in a row. Gonna get himself to 3 under par now. Finally getting that roller coaster going the right way.
Yeah, he has turned things around significantly. His putting was kind of struggling at the beginning, but as you see, it's coming along nicely here.
Oh, and good to see that from Albert. After a 3-putt on the last hole, he is able to connect that one.
Very nice bounce back. Joel here as well, attempting to bounce back with a birdie.
No way.
Really taking his time here on this one.
Yeah, he's had a couple of putts just outside of where he wanted them to be. Looked like he was trying to make sure he had his focus right on that one, and it works out well for him. Able to connect. We saw 3 birdies here out of just 24 on the day. Our chase card really showing you how to play that hole. Moves us into hole 14, 975-foot par 5. Hit the gap off of the tee, have your second shot land somewhere right around here, And a pretty easy approach shot from there. If you're ambitious, there is the opportunity to get an eagle here.
Yeah, with the distance on our card here, they do have the chance to go for eagle, but if they play it smart, they should have a pretty routine birdie. Ezra getting himself into a good spot there off the tee.
Yeah, easiest hole on the course for the back-to-back days now.
Just another smooth sidearm on it, Albert. And that smooth sidearm for him is going about anywhere from 4 to 440. Pretty wild to say.
Yeah, he makes it look entirely too easy. Joel also has a very big forehand. Doesn't make it look quite as easy, but still pretty smooth there.
Gannon looks to be lining up maybe a roller here.
Yeah, roller can get you a long ways down this fairway, kind of bring that eagle into play.
Looks like it's on a good angle. Maybe gonna turn up a little early, but
Oh no, that's a good 150 feet past those first two drives we saw, I believe.
should put him in range of eagle then.
Yeah, if he wants it, I believe he's got the opportunity.
Albert landing right where you said you should land.
Yeah, pushing that wall. If you get over that wall and stay left, it's OB, but it does come inbounds pretty quickly over on the right. But just a great spot to be right there by that wall. Pretty short upshot from there, inside 250.
So he's got the distance. Does he go for it?
This looks like a big throw, but it doesn't have the height that it needs. Well,
Maybe he was just playing that.
yeah, it looked big, but could have been a nice layup there.
Yeah, that's fooled.
This is a big shot. Absolutely going for this green.
Oh, no.
And it's fading out, though.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think this is going to end up finding that OB left. That's over on the walkway to the next hole. Going to get all of that distance. So may have a long look at birdie still. As Joel may be thinking he left that short. Pretty easy to catch that mound, but does get down there nicely.
Ezra with a pretty easy approach there. Gonna find himself close to bullseye for his birdie. Albert going with the sidearm approach into the basket.
Well done. Going to be right at that bullseye's edge. So Gannon, after going OB on his second shot, is now putting for birdie.
Oh, another one from deep, hitting that rim.
Yeah, just hasn't quite had the height that he needs today as Joel Freeman fights back to 5 under par again on this round. Ezra Robinson, 5 birdies in a row.
He is on a tear here. Albert gonna grab another birdie as well. Gannon unfortunately dropping in for that par as we move on to hole 15. 439 feet, par 3. You see the drop zone there. If you happen to not land in bounds, players are going to be throwing a large shot to the right that fades back in. Ezra up here first.
Yeah, although this hole is longer than hole 6, it plays a little downhill. And even though I'm not right-handed, I'm sure it's got to feel like one of those must-get birdies.
Yeah, I would agree there. The disc for the right-hand backhand kind of just funnels towards the basket if you get it high enough on good angle.
As we saw Ezra do there, he's going to be in the bullseye for a 6-pack now.
That is a good way to turn your round around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Albert. Nice shot.
Albert putting a single angle shot there down inside the circle.
Yeah, I'd say that's the preferred way to get this one. As soon as you try to put anything straight, that brings in the weird things that can happen with all of this space out here. Just a slight little wind gust and it can stand you up and push you straight. End up being OB. Joel also one angle. Skipping off of Ezra's disc says, I'm going to be just a little bit closer than you here.
So far, our players have this one dialed in.
Oh, and quick shout out on the last hole, Levi Hancock, only eagle of the day. We had 6 the first round.
No freaking way.
Just the one, and Gannon. Oh no.
Oh, and he's going to be out of bounds there, required to go to that drop zone.
Yeah, he pushed that just a little bit long of the gap. Typically, I don't think you're going to see that go OB. And kind of a weird upshot. You know, the ground doesn't allow you to see the base of the basket, so difficult to dial in that distance, as he did go long but is able to come back. And his first bogey of the round.
As Albert's going to quietly get another
Gobble,
turkey on the scorecard. Scoring coming in bunches today for these folks.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I got 41 feet for Gossage. It's a game of inches. The Portland Open champion, Adam Hannes.
Hole 16, what has become the hardest hole on the course today. Just a slight bit of wind change. And that's all that it takes. You've got a little bit of headwind here today. And like I said, it is just a little bit. Could switch to a left or right at some points also. But 320 feet, get on the island.
It's enough wind to make you question whether or not you should change your disc or not, even though you probably can throw the same disc.
And
Oh, wow.
what type of movement on that disc? So much speed. Looked like it was just barely moving and almost flew over the wall on the back. Oh, this looks a little fluffy.
Yeah, he needed to turn that a whole lot more.
That is a cool sign out in the water, but unfortunately, that's not what you're looking to aim at.
Not where you want to be landing. Joel going with the sidearm here, no surprise for his skill set.
Go.
Trying to get a little high flex so it'll stall out and sit, but doesn't put enough on it. Gonna come up short, go to the drop zone.
Freaking child.
So Ezra with his fiery mid-range, the only one on the island so far.
Yeah, I wonder if he maybe scared those guys a little bit with how much speed it had. And they kind of slowed their disc selection up.
Gannon looks like he's going to take huge spike hyzer off to the right. A play that is out of my realm of understanding. But here we go.
On the island he is.
He is, and he's got a decision to make. Whenever it's inside the circle, you really feel like it's not a decision, but it's a very nervous putt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do feel like you need to go for it, but it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Oh gosh, dude. Freaking.
And Joel quite upset that he didn't make that 95-foot drop zone putt. A little bit of odd timing on the crowd noise there, but Ezra gonna have a common outcome, I believe, from that position. Gannon Buhr, though, wants nothing to do with being low. Finally, he's had quite a few low putts from outside circle one, and from right around the edge of it there, just needed some water in the background, able to get it high enough.
Gave him the confidence he needed to force it in there as Albert says goodbye to his disc one last time there.
Has a couple bogeys, one birdie, and a par. Pretty common outcome on hole 16. 45% of the field bogey or above.
Incredible. But here we are at hole 17, 745-foot par 4. Off the tee, you have a low ceiling shot with OB right and left. You're then playing across the green to get to the basket. You have the sidewalk deep. That is also out of bounds. It is crucial to get your tee shot long enough so it puts you in position to have an open up shot. And Gannon has left his pretty low. He's not going to make it very far down the fairway.
Yeah, it's possible to go across that OB from there, but pretty difficult to reach the pin. Still possible, but difficult. Oh, man, and Ezra really pushing those OB lines on this back nine, but staying in bounds yet again. I'm not sure he is going to be able to cross that OB from there. He may now be trying to play down that left side for par.
Albert just barely getting caught up, but still getting enough distance there to attack. We'll see if Joel can correct from his last tee shot.
Down. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. This is going to have some great distance on it. Yeah, he's out in the open, going to have some options, kind of do whatever he wants to do from there.
And just like you said, Ezra is required now to play down that left side, forcing him to play for a par, but that is a great shot, and he's going to have himself probably about 120 feet or so to the basket.
A great shot, and probably not one that he's practiced before, because ideally you're not trying to go that way, so able to execute on demand.
I'm not really sure exactly what
I can't figure out
he
where
was
he's
trying
at.
to do there, but he's around the corner and should be able to get up and down for par.
Yeah, this one works out pretty well. Maybe wanted a little bit more turn on that. We're going to be right around circle's edge, I believe. It's a big spike from Joel.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't know with that moaning and groaning after the throw. And Ezra getting up and down, it looks like, for his par from back there. Very smart way to just, take your medicine and go for the par.
Gannon going with a pretty high approach shot here. Guess he still had some trees to go over. Puts himself inside circle one. Albert with the long birdie look, trying to bounce back yet again.
Just a little short. Never really got it above the rim, even, it looked like.
Yeah, this hill, or this basket, is slightly uphill from there. Gannon is able to connect for his par. Nice scramble there. Joel, after a great tee shot, great over-the-top second shot, is going to go ahead and get his bounce back. Move him to 6 under on the round. Man, all of our card is right here close together, and they've all seemed to have a quite different type of a round.
Very different paths.
Yeah, interesting to see them all end up about in the same spot right now.
Yeah, after that front 9, I would not have guessed we would be here. But here we are, rolling into hole 18. New tee shot for this year. It's just a little further back and off to the left. Players are going to be throwing a wide open shot out to here that then creates a tricky approach shot. But depending on what you choose, you're able to go up and over left. You can go up the middle, low. Quite a few options here. And Joel going sidearm off this tee is a little surprising to me.
Yeah, same. If you have the distance for it and can push long though, then I guess it makes sense. But it really brings this OB right into play a lot more than the backhand does. He's going to put himself a little farther back than you'd like to be off to the right. But there is a possibility to still go around that right side over the water as well.
Yeah, I think being in that spot also gives him a better angle of going over top left with the sidearm. So curious to see what he does for a second. And
look at this shot from Gannon. Really needs to get left.
wow.
Oh, he carried the OB on the right. That's ridiculous.
I didn't think players would be getting up there, honestly, this week. And
Wow.
he's almost brought that low ceiling, completely out of it, as he's going to be right next to it.
Yeah, not much left on that approach. I'm going to say inside 300.
Inside, I was going to say 250, 260.
Yeah, inside 280, probably 250. Wow.
That might be one of the shots of the day, honestly.
Yeah, we've had quite a few that just kind of keep on moving down the fairway.
Yeah,
man.
they're kind of like head scratchers. It's like, we know these guys are good, but some of these shots they're throwing today have been incredible.
As Ezra maintaining that status of inside 3 feet from the OB line, gonna be over there on the left side.
He's been
Inbounds though.
flirting with it this entire back 9.
And Albert's going to need this to dig. He's also going to be close to that OB line.
Whew.
Man.
Bailing out over there creates for a much longer approach.
And you're pretty much forced to take this down the middle line, I feel like. Which is difficult to execute.
Wow.
You've got to turn it over. He gets to circle's edge there, going to have a pretty scary putt. But you've got to turn it over and make sure that it doesn't continue to drift right.
Yeah, he made that approach look way easier than it
Where's
actually
Albert
is.
looking at?
Oh, wow.
Said, you're not forcing me to go down any fairway. I'm
No.
going to go over top of it, put myself inside 25 feet.
And there's Joel taking that over the top route like you suggested.
Yeah, for where Joel's at, I could see that line. But Albert, I didn't understand that was still plausible. But both executed pretty well. And I don't...
Whew. Wow. Kind of dangerous there, I feel like, for where he was. But, he stuck it in the circle, so can't really say much about his decision making. And
Right. He's got a better view of it than we do. As Joel Freeman, able to get himself to 7 under par on the round. What seemed to be a bit begrudgingly, but he is able to get there. Albert Tamm able to also connect for a birdie on the last hole, moving himself to 6 under par. And a bit of a choppy putt there. It didn't look like there was much follow through on that one. But able to connect, and we've got one more putt to finish off this round with a diamond frame.
wow, incredible.
What a great round from our players. So many different ways to get to the scores that they got to. 3 of them at 6 under par. Joel Freeman just squeaking out in front of the card at 7 under. Gonna put him in a tie for 5th. The rest in a tie for 9th, all maintaining that top 10 status.
looking here at our leaderboard, we still have quite a cluster up at the top. It's still potentially anybody's game going into Championship Sunday tomorrow.
Yeah, a couple strokes between the lead card and then a couple more down, but very tight from there on. And as you can see, double digits is possible out here, but 5 downs can come up on you quickly with all this OB. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you come back for tomorrow's third and final round of the Dynamic Discs Open. For Nick Hanson, I'm Nathan Queen. We'll see you guys out there.